opinions, these two sides.
I also think that seeing Roger on a support Tiny feels like one of the better ones to me. So, looks pretty good. Dragon Knight, maybe I'm not so hot on that hero, but Terrorblade and the Necrophos have been looking good. So
absolutely.
Both sides, maybe a slight edge to Virtus Pro, but I think once you're up on stage, nothing that really makes a big difference.
Now we're seeing this Terrorblade Necrophos be very popular with both Chinese teams here. Last series we saw Asta have some success with in one of the games with these two. The second game not so much, where they were run over. We'll see if VP are going to sort of play that fast pace against these two heroes if they want to slow things down. If they get good timings on the blinks on Pasha and Roger, they can certainly look to be very active across the map. But they do also have this late game fallback with Ramses on the Morphling and no one, as we've been talking about, on the Invoker.
Yeah, and that's the question is just like, are you going to make it to late game? How much of this early game is dependent on Sunstrikes? How much can this Invoker and Morphling play around the other three heroes on the team? They have a ton of burst damage between a Tiny, a Centaur, and an Oracle, so just that little bit of extra from the Sunstrike is going to help you secure pretty much anyone for the side of Virtus Pro. It looks terrifying to play into, but are they going to be scouted out by DY on the Treant Protector? You know, this guy, he can get in there pretty deep, all across the opponent's side of the map, get some good wards down. Maybe if he can spot those rotations and force only smoke kills coming up from Virtus Pro, that might slow it down enough that the Vici Gaming, they also have a very nice late game lineup too.
Yeah, and they're talking about DY, definitely a player that's impressed me coming into this tournament. Not really a player that, you know, is sort of a big name in China, an old name, and it's a bit of a new name. And his performances on these heroes, like the Treant and like the Nyx Assassin, he's been perfect in just making sure he's always in the right place at the right time, giving that crucial extra bit of vision, information, being able to find the opener onto sort of the back lines of the opposition at the start of the team fights. You can guarantee that DY is going to be there set up in position.
Yeah, it's not often that you get people coming from like the lower tiers of China and really making a bigger impact on the top of the scene. Probably the hardest region to move up in, and at this tournament we have two in particular, D-Stones and then DY coming from, well, VG Potential. So obviously they saw something in it, and let's see if it'll be realized.
See how his opening lanes go. So in the mid lane, the DK lane, we saw it earlier. On this hero, you're going to be able to find the farm. Unlikely that no one's going to be able to harass him out at any point. Even with a rotation in, it's going to be hard after the first few levels with the Dragon's Blood that Ori's going to have built up. A very beefy hero to stand his ground in the mid, but at the same time, no one shouldn't feel under any sort of threat himself. Yeah. Unless a rotation does come through. But at the moment, the pressure's going to be down the side lanes. DY backing up Paparazzi on this safe lane. As VP, they have got Ramses down here, having some carry-on-carry action to start the game off, as they both contest for farm on this bottom half of the map. Yeah,
just big, beefy supports there. Treant Protector, one of the best at trying to force out these denies going your way. As much as Morphling has that high attack damage with the Morph and everything, Treant Protector, he just wants this bully style, so he's going to be ignoring that Nature's Guise, kind of like the offlane style that we saw from Set at TI. But the whole idea is don't ever go invisible because you just want to be present in the lane at all times.
Root and a stun there onto Fade as he comes across to this sideboard. Solo and Pasha doing their best control, and Pasha, of course, top lane, farming on the Centaur. And what's he against? It's this Yang, this top lane Necrophos, back up at the Phoenix. Again, pretty much another lane, sort of similar to the sense of the DK in the mid lane, this time around on the top, with Pasha being as beefy as he is on the center, especially with an Oracle backup. He should be able to get pretty uncontested farm up top.
Yeah, just has to be a little bit cautious about his HP because he's being constantly harassed by the Heartstopper Aura, which of course percent-based, pretty handy against someone super beefy like him. And I really like seeing Fade and Yang playing together. Yeah. Oh, they're finally getting some aggression.
They've got the Avalanche onto DY. He does have the Leech Seed healing him up. Got it off before the stuns came through, so will manage to walk away.
Oh, it's huge. Like, he hit the South too, so they were trying to get the full commitment there from Virtus Pro. That's why they hadn't gone in so long. They had finally felt that confidence, like, okay, this time we're going to get him. But when you screw that up and he lost all of these resources having spent that mana, and he's just suddenly right back where he was. I am a little worried. I feel like this Invoker, I mean, this was a first phase Invoker. He's supposed to be, you know, having a hard game. This looks like a pretty good game. I don't see any heroes that really are going to be ganking mid. The Phoenix is the only one that has the pressure there. Yeah,
very hard for sort of the tree to get in position to do anything at the early levels with the tower up. And bottom lane again, DY talking about the tree. He will fall as VP get first, but they do lose Roger for it, but I'll take it. Getting that first blood, extra gold.
If there's two of these position 4 supports that just absolutely love first blood. It's that Ursa that some teams run, and it's the Tiny that we've got a little bit more popular. So crucial getting this early goal, because that just means how much faster you can get your Blink Dagger after those boots.
See Ramsey's there in the game. His signature position, knees up, pressed against the table. He has beaten many top-tier Dota team sat in that position. There's Roger, quick smoke up, getting a ward down. Quite an invis rune down at the bottom. Was actually left there for sort of the full 2 minutes. He'll hang around, see if he gets the double rune, but it's going to be top lane. There's a DD. See if he can set something up with the invis.
That would have been dangerous.
If he got the DD as well as the invis, absolutely. Pretty much a guaranteed gank that he could pull off.
Oh, Ramsey's baiting this in.
It doesn't expect to have this Tiny coming in from invis as DY tries to get the living armor off, but he can't quite. The burst from VP enough as they make their imprint on this bottom lane once again.
He throws the tree into the camp just in time to get the pull right after that gank too. Just really smart play there. Fix the equilibrium.
Every single time, Roger. As you saw in the mid lane, no one was able to make the short trek up top to grab himself that DD rune. So we're going to see in this matchup, he himself be able to catch up, close that little bit of a gap as we do see Ori still maintaining the lead in this mid lane. He's got the superior last hits and denies, 23-10 against 18-7, but still very close.
Roger battling up here, he managed to get a little bit of the gold for himself. I mean, what can you do for Broth, right? This guy has boots already. Just running away from you. He's toying with you at this point, and you know he's going to stun you for that rune, so you got to run.
Roger able to grab it.
That's going to make it 3 for 4 for Virtus Pro. All stemming from that kill in the Treant Protector and by virtue of that rune.
Seeing no one with one of the highest rates on the Invoker.
That is quite the lineup. Oh,
number 5 in the world.
Your boy Blink, though.
Close behind. Bottom. Ramsey's and, as we've seen, Paparazzi. In terms of CS, they're pulling us. So they're not as far ahead. They're not having a free lane, but they're matching in farmers. DY again. I mean, I feel like I kind of put this man under fire. I said at the start, this guy's positioning. Wow, he's just died for the 3rd time in that lane.
It's very tough though in the Treant when you're playing in that style.
They are punishing that tree perfectly. This bottom lane dual lane from VP.
Yeah, for Treant Protector, you like a lane where you have like a kill threat. I mean, playing in the offlane, honestly, is the real dream for a Treant Protector. You don't play with some offlane hero that you can come into your Nature's Guise and have this big surprise. This heal style one with just the Leech Seed and the Living Armor works really well in a core role because you're also lasting the entire time. But he has no invisible threat when he's gone this build, and there's so much burst from that support Tiny that most supports he can kind of trade with more evenly.
Roger, fantastic start to the game with these lanes in mind. That's mid lane Ori with the Dragon Form starting to put some pressure on the tier 1 tower. Bottom lane, every time it's sort of the strength of having this morph against the Terrorblade. This is a hero that during that metamorphosis, unless there's sort of like a hard lockdown, you're never really worried as the morph. You're always going to be able to walk it off, keep the distance, wait until it's over. It's unlikely you're going to see Ramsey's die to an early level of meta.
Yeah, they even put the pressure on the reflection here. You can see the confidence in Ramsey's.
I mean, he knows that he can just turn with the punch and just sort of trade back the harass evenly on Paparazzi. Paparazzi does have a bit of the living armor. It's taken off pretty quickly as he punched through the instances of it all.
That's actually an underrated aspect of this morphling in this lane too, is that they have no surprise damage, right? There's no like burst spell or anything like that. So Ramsey can play at the complete absolute limit because all he has to worry about is projectile from a ranged attack of a Terrorblade, and he'll be able to morph that off in no time.
He's only going to die in this lane if he makes a pretty huge mistake. Yeah. Or if a rotation comes through, if we see Vici gaming for another member. But you can see, Ramsey's just keeping the agi pretty high, keeping his health pretty low. He's confident that DY and Paparazzi, as you say, that they're not going to be able to kill this morphling down.
And it's very important that this happens too, because if we look at a Terrorblade as well as a Dragonade, I mean, you get 6 on a DK. Oh,
and again, you see Ramsey's going in underneath the tower. The Sunstrike's going to be off the point. It's not even needed. As this is the aggression we're talking about. Ramsey's so confident with the way that he dives underneath the tower, sees the exact opportunity when they can go for the kill. This is just some absolute sort of perfect play from this morphling. He has the perfect amount of confidence. He knows all of his limits, and he knows what he can get away with. It's top lane Pasha, getting chased. Reaper side comes in, but Solo starting to see some of those cute plays. The Sunstrike. Vici Gaming playing against Virtus Pro. You've got to step it up that little bit as VP with those outplays. And nice, it's nice, isn't it, Trent, to see some good classic Oracle saving action coming in. Not a hero we get to see a lot nowadays.
No, usually he can just do the same thing on Bane with Nightmare and, get a few other tools, so it's understandable why they love that hero so much too. But Solo, I mean, he's just so good.
He is. On lane, he's sort of these saving heroes. He really, really is. Mid lane, the tower goes down, but as we saw, no one gets the deny.
Yeah, that really hurts. But still, this is what you need to be doing with Ori. I think in a game like this is a Morphling and an Invoker. You definitely want to try and push the tempo a little bit because you have a TB, and although this hero also likes to farm, he can join pushes pretty easily.
Again, this burst, bringing down the Necrophos very low, but I'm a Necrophos. Ghost Shroud and a wand, and he's back up to full.
Solo looked like he was a little low on mana there. Didn't have the opportunity to finish it. There we go.
And I talk about making mistakes. That certainly was what lets himself get nuked down by Ori's brief fire. As the movement for the Dragonite catching him out in this bottom lane. As that is going to be a big kill for Vici Gaming, opening up the potential to really push in. Sure, the Dragon Form's ended. Paparazzi's got the meta though, and they've taken that tier 1 mid. They're looking to take the one bottom. You see straight away the TP coming in from VP as they'll lead forward, trying to start something off. More TP's coming through as well. No one's come in, but Roger's being focused down, pushed back the Metamorphosis damage. It's enough. They'll take down Roger. They'll lose the Treant for it. Sunder comes through from Paparazzi, trading life, keeping himself in a better position comparatively to no one. Stun as well. To hold back Ramses, who's in the DK form at the moment, trying to chase down, see if he can find a stun himself. Unlikely though, as Ori keeps the distance. So VP will be able to stop that bottom tier 1 tower going down for now.
Yeah, nice pick up there from DY. Before he went down though, he kind of got tossed back and still found Roger on his way out. So we got a little bit of gold for his death, but Ramses does bounce back by getting some of those kills for himself. And that means 10-minute bounty runes here. Just gonna go 2 for 2. Soul will grab both on the bottom, and we've a regen rune up top that'll get scouted by Roger, but actually no one could use it here, so solid stuff for VP. From here, Ori, question for him will be, where do I go? Where do I want to ult? What tower do I want to take down? Do we want to finish bottom? Do we want to kind of take some attention away from that lane and try and help out a Terrorblade? Because Virtus Pro, they are very happy to keep punishing him under this tower.
Down bottom, they want to look to punish Paparazzi. In comes the nukes, the Sunstrike as well as the waveform forward. Not quite enough. The regen actually helping out Paparazzi a little bit, but it won't keep him safe as the burst comes in. They'll lose Solo for this one. Yang trying to find Ramses in return. They'll start to push him back. Ramses beginning to shift into strength. No one elsewhere actually finding the kill onto DY. Roger's there with the back to throw out the avalanche, keep them held back from Ramses. They're diving forward though. They really want to find this, but Stampy's there from Pasha. They keep the distance, get themselves away from Ori, who came into the lane with the Elder Dragon form. So Vici Gaming, they won't get a kill, but they are back in position to set up, try and finish off this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, if they get the tower here, this is going to end up being a very good play from Yang. Being so patient with that scythe and not trying to force anything on the Ramses. So now he's got the threat on the tower.
Solo with a quick disarm for now.
That's
DK, the 2-man avalanche.
Solo was going to get scythed. For sure.
See if they can get the deny again, and they can. So both towers, sure, they've been taken by Vici Gaming. They're being able to obviously get the benefit of the extra map control and pressure, but we are seeing VP sort of shut down that pretty significant gold advantage that they could have claimed from both of those towers as they get it reduced with the 2 denies so far.
Yeah, pretty brutal changes of late in Dota's. How much does denies hurt you? So getting 2 in a kind of like push-heavy lineup like this where you're expecting a snowball, like the importance of Blink Daggers for Virtus Pro, sure, tiny, as well as Center War Runner, but just those earlier levels and items of like the auras and stuff for this Radiant team also so important. And Ramsey's just taking himself to the top lane. Looks like he's thinking towards the Lincoln Sphere on the earlier part of this one, but no one nearby, not under any sort of pressure. Life is good. And Ori's just jungling his Dragonite, which doesn't seem ideal. Of course, his DK form is down at the moment, but that's 2 towers now, just doing that, getting denied. I'm sure he's feeling a little irritated.
Do you like this as well? I feel like a lot of the Dragonites that we've seen as of recent do prefer to go for the Shadow Blade, but we'll see down bottom a bit of a stampede as Ash was a little spooked there by Yang. But going for the Blink Dagger Rush rather than the Shadow Blade, which the Shadow Blade, that seems to be sort of the preferred item build. Do you think there's a reason why Ori wants the DK instead? Set up for the Sunstrike. He's got the living armor, saving him against some of the burst. They finish him off. They can't. Yang gets the chance to turn. Ghost Shroud out as well as the Death Bolt. Stun kicks in onto Roger as Roger's held in range of the Supernova Solo, trying to keep himself alive with the false promise, but they'll surround him. Solo cannot play his way out of this one for sure, as he's just taking so much damage. Will burst as the false promise ends as Vici Gaming punishing that attempt from VP to get some action going down bottom.
I think what I like about the Blink Dagger in this game is, number one, Solo is an extremely selfless player. This guy will just buy sentries and wards the entire game, and with the increased duration of sentries, it's going to be very irritating to try and play into those areas as the Dragon Knight. Plus, it's more about playing as 4 and then having the Terrorblade on the other side of the map. So DK just wants to get as active as possible, as early as he can, and as long as he gets a stun, they have follow-up damage. Phoenix Egg is so much damage now that he doesn't really need the additional stuff of the Shadow Blade. The down is, though, when he's in moments like this, he's going to be farming slower.
So even with the blink, it's still going to be hard, because who are you looking to jump on? I imagine if you see the opportunity to sort of take Solo out, delete him from the fight immediately, that's going to be a great way to start a 5v5. Yeah. But as we've seen each time, if there is still the Stampede available, sure, you'll get the kill onto the Oracle, but everyone else will immediately disengage. And we'll see this attempt down bottom again to kill
Yang. That living armor was a huge factor.
Those instances, protecting him from each of those instances of damage coming out in turn, allowing him that little bit of HP left to get the Ghost Shroud, turn things around. Fantastic Supernova and Overgrowth, securing them the kill onto Solo as well. Vici Gaming striking back big time. Pretty much the first time this game, but 6 to 8, 14 minutes in, less than a 1K difference between these two sides. It's certainly setting out to be the game we all hoped it to be.
Yeah, it's not something you really think about too much with living armor, but this idea of just like they have the Stomp, and then they have the Double Edge, and they have the Avalanche, and they have the Toss. All of these instances, you're adding an additional block each time as compared to something like a Laguna Blade, but they've been setting up for this for so long.
They're going with the Blink reveal onto Ramses, but Ramses, he's fine. He's got the backup of Solo, he gets himself out. They know that there's that Blink now on Ori. And no surprise, he's one of the fastest ones.
Yeah, because he used the living armor on himself too. He steals the Treant for him.
Oh, Roger. Tried to come in from behind. They have the vision upon. Got the Overgrowth. The Dragon Knight's still there as well. Doesn't get tossed back. Is anyone here to save him? Solo's there. I think Roger's going to be fine. Quick disarm and a Purifying Flames keeps him healed back up. He's back towards the shrine if necessary. If
they want to go in.
They do. They jump forward. Stampede there. They get the lockdown onto Solo. Reaper Scythe out. They manage to take out the Oracle.
Oh, that great ward over there by the shrine, kind of scouting out the fact that Roger had moved over to use it. Left Solo up for grabs, and the fact that Blink Dagger is now out, it's going to force Solo to play much closer to Ramses, which is something he hasn't been doing. He's been on the opposite side of the map this whole time, playing around, looking for kills with the Centaur and the Tiny, but now he's removed from that equation, and that's actually going to slow down the farm quite a bit, and the kill power of Virtus Pro, so I think BG are starting to get on a bit of a roll here.
They're taking it to 2-1 tower. This one will not be denied, so they'll find themselves really, and you look at sort of their half of the map, all their towers, of course, with the power of the Treant, pretty much at full health. They're yet to lose a tier 1 tower on their own side.
One thing of note, though, is, oh, down bottom, that tornado, that's...
They set up onto 2, and then that's going to finish off the burn. Phoenix gone.
This is the guy we haven't seen. This whole time he's been virtually invisible, right? He's been in the mid lane on no one, but he's made his way down bottom. He's been picking up these kills with the Sunstrikes, had his return to defend that bottom tower, but quietly farming away. He's going to have an extremely quick Aghanim Scepter, just treads Ags this game for no one, because he hasn't really had to grab anything else. And perhaps even an Arcane Rune here if he wants it, but a little low on mana.
Take it to ensure that the opposition's not able to grab themselves it. But as you say, it is scary when you see that no one invoker fight.
Yang, though.
Hasn't died yet this game.
Looks like they decide they don't have quite enough. The meatball is still on cooldown.
With the hood and with sort of the living armor, I think as we're seeing, it's just with 2 heroes, you're you're taking a risk, you're taking a gamble on whether you're going to have the damage output to bring him down before suddenly a Ghost Shroud comes in, you're getting blinked on by a Dragon Knight, and you're losing a hero. You've got to be careful when trying to commit onto that Necrophos, who, as you can see, is the most farmed in the game at the moment.
Look at this in terms of top kills per 10 minutes. You can see both these teams completely bloodthirsty with Ori Paparazzi on that list, and then no one in Ramses too.
Ramses
smoked up mid lane here as they do spot Ramses, and I said that they'd have Solo playing closer. They do not. Ramses is going to start backing himself away here, but Solo's down bottom. He's still hunting for kills. They really want to get something out of this Blink Dagger on Pasha.
It's going to be a lot harder to catch Ramses now because he's got the money, and I believe the Link is fit on the way out. So suddenly this Blink jump from Ori is not going to be enough to lock him down. You know, he's got to make sure you can get that instant Blink stun onto the Morphling before he begins to shift. Each and every time Ramses, he is going to be able to start building up that strength.
And they're going to start setting up on bottom. Here it is. It is the Wombo combo of Treant and Phoenix. He's only got the brown boots here on DY though, so a little bit difficult to make the best use of his nature's guys. No Tranquils, no Wind Laces.
See who spots out who first is DY. hugging the tower. Only Ramsey showing out of the push effort from VP. And they'll pop the Lincolns straight away, moving in there to save them. Well, the Purifying Flames, Reaper Sark's not going to do anything at all as Ramsey's waveforms up. Oh, he does get out in place though. And Solo, he's going to die in two. That's going to cost Ramsey his life as well. They lose both of them, Trent.
Okay, it was close there, a little miscommunication with the Euls and the overgrowth at the same time, but it's fine in the end. And Pasha will cut the wave and TP himself out, but Vici Gaming defending, still holding these tier 1s, and you know against a Treant Protector, if you don't end up getting, if you don't fully commit, that thing is going right back up to full HP.
Absolutely, it's going to take VP a long time to get any of these out of tier 1 towers at this rate, as Vici Gaming repelling them each and every time. Of course, while that was happening down bottom, No One continues to get space at bottom, and it's so close at the moment between the farm of No One and Yang on the Necrophos. Yep. No surprise there with the way that No One's played this game. 4 minutes and 38 faster than the patch average. That's out of 260 matches as well, so an incredible timing in that, and he's already making great steps towards the BKB. Yeah,
well, someone else is getting there a little bit faster, it would seem. As Paparazzi also pretty quiet during these last couple engagements. He's nearly there. Already has the hammer, has the ogre club, and just needs to get himself the Black King Bar recipe. So from there, I assume they want to actually put some pressure on these tier 2s. Trying every single time kind of BKB, take a tier 2, or BKB, take that Roche, and it will be difficult for Virtus Pro to fight at this point.
One of the definite strengths for VP against sort of the Terrorblade is certainly having this Stentor War in his bottom lane, Cold Snap. Ooh, Fade's in there. Meatball coming down. They do find him. They'll take Fade. Does not have any sort of supernova backup to rely on. But down the line, having that Centaur as an answer to the BKB Terrorblade, it can be fantastic. You know, you sort of jump in, you fall out BKB and Metamorphosis, you've got that easy disengage. And then VP, we've seen it before, how they can play smartly around these sort of key timings. They can then look to re-engage, because for the most part, it's a lot of short cooldowns VP rely on to get the kills done, whereas with Vici Gaming, ultimately they want to work with those transformations, the Elder Dragon form, the Metamorphosis. If Vici Gaming don't sort of have those at the ready until in the mid to late game, they're not going to want to fight. Or but even VP can look to pounce.
Like even the early game right now, you saw what happened, right? There's no supernova, you have yourself a Phoenix who's just down there, and they can't fully commit to that tower. Unless that's going to be there for the defense. So Virtus Pro just bringing the numbers this time, easily claiming it. And these Radiant heroes are playing very deep in dire territory. And Solo not expecting it.
They will catch Solo out. Reaper Side down with a brief fire. He's underneath the threshold.
Oh, they're getting wrapped around on though.
See if Pasha can find any revenge. Yang's to jump on, and indeed Yang's got eyes on him. Sends him up into the sky. Another stun from Ori holds him down. Roger's there though. Yang feeling very confident with his tankiness. In comes Papa with the Metamorphosis and the reflection, slowing them down. A quick tornado for No One holds the team back though. They'll jump over it. Ori still having the lockdown onto Pasha. They burn him down with a brief fire. They get a second, taking both Solo and Pasha out of the play. You just cannot afford to be near this lineup when they've got the Dragon form, when they've got the Metamorphosis. At this point of the game, you'll lose every single fight.
Patience though. They will back away, even with that meta still having like half duration left. They don't want to push anything too crazy. They know there's a chance of buybacks. They know that Stampede's going to be back up, so maybe they might lose some of what they've gained here back to Virtus Pro, and instead they're just going to play it cautiously, back themselves away. So a little unfortunate there for old Pasha that there happened to be a sentry there on the ground, but of course a pretty common ward area.
It's Ramses. He has the action to help sort of speed up the farm. Eventually will want to get his hands, of course, on the Manta style this game to help him get out of those potential overgrowth situations.
He's looking like a classic Morphling in this game, really. Like this split pushing, other side of the map, trying to just join fights as they're happening. No real threat to him, at least in his eyes, with that Lincoln Spear. If they don't have the Dragon to lock him down, he could probably survive his way through everything else. Going largely impeded, or unimpeded here, but gonna scan, see if there's anyone actually playing next to Ramses here, maybe thinking about setting something up onto him.
It's been there. He's trying to sort of bait the action. He does have backup behind him. Sunray's coming out to heal him up, but it's not enough. They're able to pass Dory, but in return, the overgrowth, they dive forward with the Supernova. VP, they have to get out. They'll start to back up and retreat, but VP, they'll absolutely take that one. Getting the jump. I think there you can sort of see Vici Gaming, they planned for sort of that bait play to happen. I guess they sort of just underestimated the potential of VP to still be able to burst down the Dragon Knight at this point as well. Roger, he's looking to see if he can find something else. He's got the combo to DY. DY does get the living armor through. Ramsey starting to play around with Yang at the side. as DY and Yang will be able to retreat. But being able to burst story like that, I mean, I was even surprised that they actually had the damage to do that.
Yeah, there's no doubt, but I mean, you have an Invoker with negative scepter.
I guess. The
very
combos
early on, so plenty of skills available for him. And you know, that just means things like there's always alacrity. You know, every one of your spells is just always openly available to you. And so the defense here. Oh, they're going to spot Pasha on the high ground. Great play.
They've got the Sunray upon him, or he jumps in with the Dragon Form. The stun as well onto Pasha. Sunstrike's not going to connect onto anyone. Dive forward. Pasha's still alive for now. Solo's keeping him alive with the false promise, which allows him the chance to blink out. Ramses tries to sit forward and find DY. But DY as well will be safe with Yang by his side, offering the heals from the Death Pulse.
Hard to believe everyone got out there. Roger even had a nice little toss where he threw Yang right in the middle of everything, but forced to just go Shroud and back away. And he appears to be thinking about the Radiance there for the next. He already has the piece, so kind of guaranteed.
Roger's got his blink. As you've sort of seen already, Roger being very good with the toss, the toss combo, the chase, the ability to get some out of the fight. It's going to be even easier now. No one has a full BKB completed. 24 minutes in, still fantastic timing on top of the acronyms. This Invoker. And again, 8 minutes and 26 seconds faster than the patch average. No one. Yeah, as we said, this is why they pick in this Invoker early. It doesn't matter what you do put against him in lane. He's going to hit his timings. He's going to be able to be this terrific force in the matches. Still 6-0-3, yet to die this game.
It's going to put a lot of pressure on the Paparazzi in a match like this. Yeah, that net worth. No one just absolutely slaying. Look at the hero damage this far too. I mean, that's the story of an Invoker that's getting off this good of a start. But it means Paparazzi, what does he have to worry about in this game, right? You already pointed out the fact that the Centaur is going to be hopping in there, and that's what's going to try and threaten this Metamorphosis, and now it's 10-second BKB. But then past that, you have this Morphling just be hopping inside the fight. You're going to be having a Tiny with this Blink Dagger who can create these weird toss plays that completely break how a fight's supposed to work.
Tower is under attack.
And they're going to put another full effort into here, try and beat through the living armor.
CP back to defend, Vici Gaming. VP.
They knew he was coming in there.
Jump Pash, he's found the disable on Paparazzi on the side. Can they kill Paparazzi? They wait for Paparazzi gets the BKB. He's back up to full and ready to fight with the Metamorphosis. They turn straight away towards Roger, who's caught, held back underneath the Supernova. Roger will fall. Jump fall from Ori's got the disable onto Solo. They get two. They force VP back.
Wow.
As no one very lucky to not lose his own life there. But nonetheless, again, Vici Gaming, they're proving to be so good at holding these towers, preparing. They're not letting VP get away with these pushes each and every time in with the fight. And we saw that. They nearly killed Paparazzi. Yeah. But with the BKB against this lineup of VP, this Terrorblade is just so damn strong.
Looked like they couldn't quite get the damage there from no one. Just the only one who wasn't involved there in terms of, like, they even saw that Paparazzi was coming that tree line. They had this ward in behind the tower, perfectly scouted it. They're all pinging it, waiting and came in extremely late because of the delayed TP, but they couldn't sync up their spells. And so that means it's 2 BKB churches used now. Yeah, down to 8 seconds, and that's going to become a very real concern for Paparazzi this game, though.
Paparazzi, close to Manta completion too. So we've already seen how hard he is to trap and control with BKB with the Manta as well. It's going to be a lot harder, but they're making a good timing here.
Yeah,
VP, they know there's no Manta. You've got to go.
Everything's down, but look at that scan right now from Vici Gaming. They know they're in the area.
They know they had to play safe. Vici Gaming are not letting up, not sort of allowing themselves this sort of window to be exposed and abused by VP. They're playing safe. Yang. He's up there on the top, but the cell fuels able to dodge a lot of the damage from the Meteor. Still has the Ghost Shroud taken off by the Tornado as Yang will fall. Though you lose Yang, Vici Gaming, do they want to try and strike back? That's the question. Ori, he's gone in on the river. Will walk away as still without those ultimates, not wanting to fight a toss forward. Pasha trying to close the gap, but Ori gets the blink away. They get Yang, it's a big kill.
Yeah, I love that fight, oddly set up by this Observer Sentry combo. Just got denied there by the Ancients, but there's some destroyed trees that were giving it too much vision.
Pasha nearly get taken down. They sort of bait in with the sense of Fate has to pop. The Supernova,
They know they
Ori
have to fight.
jumps in, he's trying to finish up Pasha, but Pasha's got solo on the high ground. False Promise will be there, Pasha's going to be fine, and now they can turn. Jump over BKB, out from Ori just before the Houston comes into play. They're trying to burst down Pasha with the Sunray, but he's too tanky with the backup. The resistance from Solo to Solo's offering. VP can keep on fighting, they zip forward, they burst DY. Ori and Paparazzi just backing away, jumping again. Pasha, Houston, double edge, Sunstrike, does the job. They'll lose Rogers or a Reaper side, but Paparazzi had to BKB, had to back off no one. With the control, Ice Wall's down, slowing Yang. Buyback's actually going to come out from the Ori, but no one. BKB's TP's out in the middle of it. He says, we are getting out of it. We've made the buyback on the Dragon Knight. Sure, they lose Solo, but forcing a buyback out of Ori at this stage of the game, that's a nice win for VP.
That's a Dragon Knight who doesn't have Dragon buying back in. You know you're in trouble. Like, if he thinks he needs to try and make that play to try and get the game back onto your side, and that means he loses a lot of gold, makes that fight worse than perhaps it had to be for the side of Vici Gaming. So they need to find something, and this is what they're going to go for. The meta was still up, but instantly scouted here from no one. Pasha nearby. Forge Spirit can try and scout it out too.
You said this would be fighting into meta. Still no Supernova, Dragonform, or Reaper side for Overgrowth though. There's no one. Starts to try and push them out of the pit. EMP, Roshan very low. Pasha's got to try and get in out, but DY, he's got his eyes on Pasha. Make sure that he can't get the blink off, so Vici Gaming get the space to take Roshan, get the Aegis. Now they want to fight. Ori pops the BKB, getting himself on top of no one. The Stampede comes out from Pasha. That will separate the Invoker. Get no one out of there. Waveform from Ramses keeps him driven towards the middle lane. Phage trying to chase with the dive through. Just a little too speedy as Ramses will be fine. Jump back in from Roger with the combo. Isn't enough to stay in. The Supernova comes out. False Promise from Solo. Keeps Roger alive. Pasha, he's trying to get back in on the fight. They've managed to take the Aegis away from them already, but they're back for round 2. Yang straight back in. Toss up onto Fade. Fade still able to get the Sunray through. Yang moving in, picks up the double kill. A buyback coming out from Pasha, but Ramses burned down by the Breathe Fire. Vici Gaming utilizing this Aegis push, baiting a fight out of VP as they tried to fight into the Aegis. Sure, they took it out of the hands of Yang, but Vici Gaming, they were more than ready to fight out a second life for the Necrophos as they take a team fight and they take a tier 2 tower.
They're so good at disengaging on the side of VP that I thought they were just going to get out of there. But then they start coming back in and out, back in, and although they took the Roshan a dangerous time for Vici Gaming because they didn't have the Dragon Form, they didn't have Supernova, well, that meant that after those things were actually back up. So I think VP may be overestimating just how much they had kind of like left in the tank for that engagement. And they lose a lot of the advantage they had gained. It's suddenly a 7K lead for Vici Gaming, Terrorblade and Necrophos on top.
Any game where you see it's Terrorblade at the top, it's a tough one if you're playing up against it. As we see here again, as you say, VP sort of attempt to keep on fighting into all of these combos. Sure, Pasha gets in, he's able to burst down the Aegis. Solo making Roger feel confident with sort of the False Promise backup, but they're instantly going to lose those two.
Here too, in his morph form, just a little bit too low for a Breathe Fire.
Just as quickly as we see VP make the play, force a buyback out of Ori, it's Vici Gaming's turn to force out a buyback from a core of VP as Pasha buying back in that fight really starts to see the difference. You know, so far, 30 minutes in, this game has been so close between the two teams. We're now starting to get to the point where these sort of team fights, they will make the game swing heavily, one way or another.
And just like that too, this could go completely back VP's way.
Well, Pasha walks into Ori. Ori's on the high ground, quick with the stun. Pasha gets caught up, but there's the counter. The Overgrowth to hold the sensor in place, the Reaper side off the damage to take him out. And that's a dieback. He's gone for 120 seconds. He does not have buyback available, of course, after that mid lane play. So we'll see what Vici Gaming can do with that.
That is a kill without using anything besides the Scythe. I mean, they had to use the Dragon Form, I suppose, so...
What's the timing on meta?
Oh, it's still there.
It's still there. He's got it back, yeah. He's got it from back from that middle play earlier. So this is a big opportunity for Vici Gaming. No Centaur for 90 seconds, as we've seen. The Stampede has been a huge component of allowing VP to sort of play this jump in, jump out Dota 2. They can't do it without the Stampede.
And he takes the morph a little early here too. But I guess we don't have to worry too much for the cooldown now as he's level 18. And there you go. Roger finds the answer. Cut the waves.
Slowing down that push, making Vici Gaming head back.
He's been scattered out here though, but again, that lack of move speed. Not enough for the Treant.
He will probably pay with his life, but as you say, that little play, that little job getting done. stopping the potential push and buying time whilst they are without the Sentinel.
Meanwhile, there is another engagement here, it looks like, but... Oh, they're going...
And they are. They get the jump. Straight away, Ori's found the opening stun. They're on top of no one, but there's the false promise. BKB's out as well as no one backs up. But Paparazzi's still able to punch quite a happy bit of damage into Solo. Ramses as well, just sort of standing in between the two of them. Solo does fall, but Ramses and no one get out. Their core survive. Down bottom, finally, Fade and T were able to finish off the kill onto Roger. Sunstrike's not going to connect onto Fade, so now there's 3 dead. None of these heroes, in fact, with buyback. They still have timing. Half of the duration still there for Metamorphosis, so they're up to the high ground. Fortification will come out, but it's only up to no one, and Ramses to hold against the 5-man push of Vici Gaming.
They want this tier 3. This is your big goal here. I mean, they still have things like BKB TP as well.
They're going to get it. Yeah, they take the tower, they back off. Vici Gaming still able to continue to just control the game. They're getting away with these long cooldown spells as VP, they struggled. Those 2 sort of mistakes in the mid-game, trying to force a fight at the worst time, it's cost them heavily. It's now a significant jump up in advantage and lead for Vici Gaming at 33 minutes in.
I've been eyeing no one this game so much. Like the 8-0-3, it's been looking very good, but quietly in the background there, Yang has just exploded. After that Radiance, he already picked up a heart now too. I mean, he's almost top of the chart. He's keeping up with a Terror Blade in a game like this. That is absolutely absurd. And he's also 10-1-5, so pretty damn good game. Pretty good day for the Necrophos, honestly. I feel like this hero's been doing excellent.
It really has. And this game as well, all 3 cores of Vici Gaming are so hard to kill. You've got the double Dragon's Blood talent now picked up on the DK. There's Terror Blade already with the BKB Mountain, as you say. There's this heart on the Necrophos.
Backed up by Living Armor too.
They're so hard to kill. They're these huge brutes that even with the ults down, you're going to struggle with. And we see at the moment, the boys on Pain out back, preparing for their series that will of course be up after this one, taking in this Dota 2 action between these 2 incredible teams, BP and Vici Gaming.
Or he doesn't have the Dragon Form this time, but he'll still get there in time with the Halberd to pop the Lincolns.
Still the backup of Solo. More chase down is there, yeah. Trying to close the gap in on him, but a waveform out will save him. Solo's not going to be quite as lucky. You'll set them to cancel the TP as Solo gets scythed out of the game.
These heroes have 3,000 HP right now.
They're so tanky. Pretty much all of them. Yeah, all 3 of these core heroes. How do you kill this?
It is not going to be easy.
This is a game as well where sure Ramses down the line, you know, you normally look to a Morphling to just instantly jump in and just nuke someone down. That's not going to happen this game.
Yeah, I mean, where Roger's standing right now tells you a lot about this game. He's waiting for another wave. Or potentially a courier. But that is perfect at home.
They need some sort of perfect combos to come out from no one. Pasha mid lane just jumped and shredded. That's a Centaur dying very, very quickly, scarily so for VP.
I mean, that's a skill that they need on their side, right? They need this sun, this percent base,
absolutely.
And they're lacking it.
They are indeed, as Vici Gaming up for the push once more. Mid lane, they're breaking away another tier 3 tower from VP. It's a buyback for Solo. No Centaur for 30 seconds. No one trying to lead in with the Tornado. EMP onto Ori.
Ramses is doing his best to split push along the bottom lane, but he knows he has to come back in case they go for the racks.
Roger again with a quick wave cut in the middle. We'll slow things down maybe a little bit. They do still have the 2 siege creeps alive in the middle of Vici Gaming. Paparazzi ready to commit with the Metamorphosis. Focusing down this melee racks. Ori on the Dragon Form 2. VP, can they really hold them off? There's the disarm for now from the Oracle, from the Deafening Blast as well from no one, but there's the jump. They're committing Paparazzi's coming pretty deep. He's got the BKB though, he's fine. Quick Thunder as well. Stampede comes out, so VP keep the distance now. Maybe they can look to jump back in. They'll move forward. Advantage with the stolen reflection. It's down on Paparazzi. They've got the stun onto them, but the Supernova from Fade is successful. They couldn't kill off the egg in time. Jump off from Ori. BKB as he looks towards no one with a false promise. Solo keeps no one safe. Ramses comes towards the side, waveforming away from this Sunray. A Tornado, no one. Cataclysm 2. Is it going to connect? It does onto the DK. Ori's pretty low. Can they finish off this Dragonite? The burst from Ramses. It's not enough. Ori survived. There's going to be Solo dead, Roger dead. Both no buybacks. No one now has to retreat. And then Ori, he's not done yet. Jumps in. Dragon Tail onto Pasha as Pasha's gone as well.
Paparazzi loses his life, getting maybe a bit too aggressive there. Didn't temper himself, but that secondary Lincoln's saving no one for a while, but in the end, just persistence, that ridiculous beefiness of the other 2 cores on Vici Gaming.
It really is. Vici Gaming just able to waltz down lanes And VP play as hard as they will at this point. You just look at what's on the board, this matchup against this matchup in terms of heroes, and it's just hard to find the numbers from VP's lineup that's required to deal with the numbers of HP that Vici Gaming's heroes have.
Just some simple math. That's all we're doing.
It really is at the moment.
But for now, I'd say the next math would be add 1 Aegis, +1 cheese, and go high ground once more. So VP knowing that, you know, they just try and find an answer here.
We do see what each time, you know, Ramses is able to get the ult off onto the Terrorblade, it does a lot. You know, getting reflection against Vici Gaming's lineup, just getting obviously the Metamorphosis as well. These are fantastic skills to have, especially with sort of the Radiance build up from the Necrophos. The damage, so, you know, Paparazzi's own illusion doing to himself. Ramses has to get in position for these big reflections each and every time, it feels like, because that is sort of the missing damage output that can sort of allow VP the possibility of actually killing some of Vici Gaming's cores. As in the middle lane, they're ready to go again. Roger tries to slide away with a stun connect from Ori. Roger's held outside of the base. He'll try and back up. He's got the false promise thrown down by Solo. A tornado of rail from no one holds them back. And with the heals, Roger will be allowed to get back safely. Just enough from the Purifying Flames to keep him topped up and fine.
Bottom shrine is
you can see this vision control still remaining around the pit as well for Virtus Pro. They have an idea as to if they ever go back to the Aegis, they're going to know. And the Radiant are scanning to see if they are coming forward. They are correct.
At this moment, there is no space for any sort of misplays from VP. They have to execute perfectly. And they go for the smoke. Pasha thinks out of the smoke, won't be able to catch Ori as Ori was already blinking out. And that will show Pasha in the middle lane. The rest of the team still smoked up. They do see Paparazzi. Paparazzi not going to be jumped on for now.
Very tense here. There's
so
no dragon form here too.
It's so hard to jump him, you know, because you look on Vici Gaming's side, they got Ori, jump, Dragon Tail, it's instant. From Pasha, you're jumping in against Vici Gaming. With the way that these guys are playing, they're going to be able to react with a BKB to that Who Stop cast animation every time. It's not a reliable initiation.
Solo in the middle of this TP's bottom to get these bounty runes. This guy is dedicated. In fact, they're going to use this to get all 4. What a great call. So they come in, they pressure to try and ensure that VG don't get themselves a free Roche. VG don't want to go into a fight without the Dragon form, so they back themselves away, and now you cut into that lead. Excellent maneuver there from Virtus Pro. DY, once again, same positioning he had in the previous fight. He just went for a tree cut play too to help improve his ward vision.
With no one being there, they will be aware that with those trees cut, there's likely to be those walls placed.
Roger has quite the angle over here. No vision to the north of the pit. If they were to commit, and Paparazzi will go back in.
One, trying to burn the mana of Ori, and we'll do so.
He gets it too. So, I have the soul ring for the Dragon form, but past that, nothing.
Paparazzi just continues to focus. Not scared at all of the contest that VP can bring around the pit. Sunstrike comes down, but the living armor blocks some of it. It's already there on Paparazzi, keeping him very much healed up.
Bit of a stalemate here, Owen.
It really is. I mean, VP, you can taste it. They want to get in this pit, but it's so hard. To the point where I don't know if they want to really sort of commit a full 5-man effort. Their best bet at this moment may just be to sort of throw past. Paparazzi indeed, straight up to the high ground. Stampede is forced out. Loses his mana here to the EMP. Ramses does manage to get the Terrorblade forms. He heads forward, goes for the reflection. Roger tries to TP away, but the damage is out. As Roger's gone, will buy back straight away. They cannot afford, as a team VP at this stage, to fight 4 versus 5. They have to have the full roster at all possibilities.
So they pop the GK form once again, but very patient there from Paparazzi. When he blinked in on the high ground like that, you think he's just gonna like BKB and meta and everything like that, but they quickly back away and he holds cool. Keeping that available. Does need some mana though, so buys some mangoes, gets clarity rolling, and then he's gonna get back to that pit.
Gem picked up on Pasha, so they can start to try and reclaim some of his
though, he is still a Terrorblade down in that bottom lane too. So he's got himself the illusion, he's going to clear some camps. He's trying to put this pressure down here to try and force them down.
He is, and it's getting a response. Fade's going to start TPing away from the pit, but at the same time, Ori jumps in, gets the stun immediately. Paparazzi's in as well with the BKB. The mana just rips apart no one, as the Invoker will get taken out. Roger as well has gone double kill for Paparazzi around the pit. BP, they've got to get away as Vici Gaming, they'll resume their push here. The attempt on Roshan, the push down was put to a stop as Ramses got out of there as soon as Fade showed up. as Vici Gaming, they'll take Roshan and they'll get that Aegis on Paparazzi, as he's still got a good half the duration of the Metamorphosis to play around with in the middle lane. So straight away, Vici Gaming convert that Roshan attempt straight for another push.
And such persistent D-warding there from DY. All those sentries around the pit, that meant there was no vision over that DD rune too. And so they try and start a fight because the Phoenix left, and they just get destroyed by DDTV.
Ramsey's has got the Skadi, but a buyback's come out from no one. He's going to look for the perfect angle, does get the tornado onto the three of them, but BKB's out from Mori. Pasha tried to jump forward, but a Yule's dodge from Yang keeps him safe from the Blink who stop initiation. The BKB wears out on Ori, but the racks, they're just being focused by Yang. The range racks has gone, the Meadow is falling low. DY is found in the tree line as Ramsey gets one. Paparazzi tries to leap forward with the Sunder. Paparazzi's back up the full. The save from Solo keeps Pasha alive for now with the false promise. The three-man dump pass. Ramsey's with the BKB and the Metamorphosis that he took away from the tail lane. Tried to punch back desperately, but it's not enough. He has to retreat, get himself back to base. Solo will fall. Jump fall from Ori. The Colts out. Tornado. So they're trying to do everything to get Ramsey's back safe, and they will get him back to the fountain. Without that play from Noah, Ramsey's would have been dead for sure, as he doesn't have the capability of buying back Ramsey's. So that little play may be giving VP another chance, but they're without Solo.
It's so slim though.
Vici Gaming goes straight towards the top. They're looking for another set of racks. Roger jumps in. He'll get the toss back. Buyback is now back up for Solo, so he's in, ready to commit for the fight. Roger focused down with the sunray. Ori jumps in, still onto Ramsey, but no one. Tornado, Cataclysm, Meatball isn't enough to do it. It's Ori down pretty low. He's down to half health. 1-4-4. Ramsey's trying to finish the kill, but Ori's being back up. Ramsey's into the terrible reflections out, but still they're struggling in damage. The taunts, Yang, he's in the fountain. They've called the Necrophos. He has the Ghost Shroud for now. He's trying to get himself out of the fountain. He gets the blink off. He's out. He's out of the fountain. Back towards the racks as Vici Gaming take the top racks.
All the space was made, even if it means hopping into the fountain for a little bit.
Oh, no, GG is cold. Vici Gaming looking absolutely terrified. Game one. The way that they played, the way that, you know, VP